This is the beginning of the major Bitcoin crash I've been waiting for. If you've been watching the channel, I told you a couple of days ago that Bitcoin is going to $45,000 to $50,000, what the next step is, and why it is going to happen. Last Bitcoin pump before the major crash, that is what happened here. That is literally what happened. Liquidity has been taken. The final push before a major crash has happened, and now multiple levels have been broken and the major crash actually have started. Not only on the 4-hour levels have been broken, but also on the hourly chart. Everything is getting into a little bit of a spiral down market. Everything is basically down. The question really is, what is happening? What do I see? And where is Bitcoin going next? Now, guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗲𝗲. I do this every day, 5 to 10 minutes. As you see, I've been warning you about this crash. I've been warning you about the pump. If you like this 5 to 10 minutes every single day, just come back. I've been here since 2016. If you want to be here for a long time, subscribe. 22% of you are not subscribed yet, which is a bit of a bummer, so do that. Let's jump in. Number one, very important, yesterday was FOMC. No wonder, we talked about this. They left rates unchanged, 3.75. Basically no changes there. Powell was the normal hawkish Powell, came out, said higher energy prices will push up overall inflation. Energy prices meaning all the bombings happening in the Middle East. Gas, oil, we're going to talk about in a second. Too soon to know full economy effects from Middle East. Again, he's just distancing himself. He says, hey, we don't know what's going to happen. We'll see how it goes. Two surprising things happened. One was that there was the expectation of 3 dissents. Dissents mean that the Federal Reserve has a vote on what the policy should be, and there are people who do not agree with it. Now, we talked about this throughout the previous FOMCs. A lot of times, Trump tried to put his own people in there. There are people who do not agree with Powell and want to, suck up to Trump or whatever. But there is apparently not 3 people now, which everyone was expected, but only 1, which is interesting because Powell in his second to last FOMC managed to quell the mini rebellion. So it is interesting how things unfold, but there were only 1 dissent, not 3. The other thing that was very interesting and super relevant for the markets is that now the market is pricing in no rate cuts until September 2027. That means that for 1.5 years, there is no expectation for a rate cut. Now, why do I think it's bullish and bearish? Bearish because that's not what the market thought. That's not what we discussed. That's not what they discussed. That's not what the projection was before the war. The projection was at least 1 cut this year, but rather 2. Now, that is completely out of the window, and not only in 2026, but also most of 2027. Now, why is that a good thing? It's a good thing because I don't think that we're going to get to a point where they push the cuts out till 2027. Can't happen, but that's unless the war really goes on, I don't think that is going to happen. So this will serve us well in the long term, but on the short term, obviously, it's not great. What is also not great is that there was a massive bombing by Israel, the South Pars, which is the largest gas field on the planet. It's in Iran. But the problem is that this is basically, it's not military bases. These are infrastructure that supply gas to millions and millions and millions of people in Iran. And targeting that is a new escalation in the war. And no wonder that Iran just bombed 9 countries, including Qatar, including Kuwait, the UAE. So you see all the bombings that have been happening. Obviously, they can't reach the United States so far. We don't know if they can. But this is definitely a major escalation. And Trump sees that. And he came out, and I actually posted this yesterday in the community. I said that this is a real taco. Trump always chickens out. Where he came out and he made this whole statement that, Israel based on anger, which is most likely probable, bombing everybody around. But like they came out of Israel out of anger, taken place in the Middle East, this bombing, blah, 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 blah. And he says, we do not want this anymore to happen. So it's not going to happen anymore. He doesn't want that. But if Iran is retaliating, then they're going to have a major problem. But this is massive. I can't tell you how massive it is. We always talk about oil, and I'm going to talk about an oil trade as well that I've taken. But ultimately, this is very, very, very bad for the market, and this is why I have taken a short position. Yesterday, I posted it in the community. Community is free. You can join any link in the description. It's just a Telegram group where I share my thoughts. This was the trade I posted at 72,300, which is now fruiting into or coming into this 29% trade so far. I do have my oil trade open as well. I do think this is the 2 best assets to be in right now. Short Bitcoin, long oil. I'm going to give you the levels, and I also have it open on Bitfunded. I told you that I'm going to have both guys running. So let's look at the market. So basically what is happening and what I see is the following. So also I wanted to tell you one more thing, which bugged me a little bit. And I didn't actually bring this up, but because I forgot to. Okay, so I found it. So this is what I wanted to talk about for just for a little bit, because I usually don't bring on haters, and this guy will help him not see the channel ever again. But in general, someone's saying you did take a long, stop bullshitting everyone, it's already dropped even more, stop lying. So first of all, I never lie. Second of all, you can look back on the track record of the channel. And third, yesterday I have taken a long position on this Bitcoin retrace. And the reason why I have done that, as I explained yesterday on the show, because this is the 1 hour low. Now, did I say it's a scalp position? Yes. Did I say that it can get stopped? Yes. The reason why I took it is because of the whole SEC and CFTC, and I said that we can see a push here. But ultimately, what I've been preparing for this was a scalp position. What I've been preparing for on a larger scale was always this, a retrace to this 50%. I've been, again, if you've been here, I build these shows on top of each other. I said 75,000, touched the 75,000, and then a rejection. And it's not only an hourly, but also 4-hour rejection. I'm not flip-flopping. I'm not jumping in and out. I'm not taking a headless chicken trades. I've been preparing for this for the whole time. Meanwhile, I've been taking scalp position, which I got one stop on, which is not a problem at all. What you should not be doing is you should get stuck in the mindset of, oh, we were being long yesterday, now we're short. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. And we know exactly what we're doing. What we're doing is adapting to the market. 1 hour was bullish. Why? There was 3 consecutive candles here. This took liquidity, very strong level, built up liquidity. I thought we are going to bounce from here. Obviously, the escalations, especially the bombing from Iran, did not help. So the market actually bled through the 1 hour and bled through the 4-hour chart, meaning it's a complete market structure shift. Not only this level down here, this level down here took this massive liquidity, double tops or a relative equal highs, but also it came back into the daily 50%, which it always does. The 50% is where markets always retrace. We've seen it a million times previously. And trust me when I say that this can start bleeding down and we can go sub 60,000. It's not a question of if, but the question of when. Now, do I think we're going to reversal? I don't know. Maybe because the daily down here should hold. There is a close above there. This is the daily OB at $65,000. We can have a reversal. We're going to take it when it comes. But for now, there is an hourly and a 4-hour break below here. If you're not shorting, I can't really help you. What is my game plan? My game plan for Bitcoin is the following. I expect Bitcoin to, maybe it just starts dumping. Like, I don't know. No one knows. Depends on what happens, depends on what Trump is saying, depends on the escalations. Ultimately, lower is definitely what I'm thinking. 65 is a very strong level. This here is a very strong daily level, so it should potentially hold. We're yet to see how that will play out. But ultimately, I would not be surprised if it comes a little bit lower from here or just starts nuking. What I would want to see, and if I was not in a short position, either I just calculate my short like this. I say there is an 8% stop loss, which is also fine. Risk reward is good. So you can get in a short. Stop loss above here is $76,000. Or what I would rather recommend, and what I'm actually going to wait for as well, is a retrace into an order block, right? So I'm looking at the 1 hour chart. I would like to see a retrace. This is also called a breaker block, by the way. I'm looking at a retrace to 72, 73,000 region. When that happens, and I see a market structure shift, I am going to add to a position. Now, I do not think that we have a good enough a global situation and a good enough chart for this to start retracing 4 or 5%, but it can happen. So ultimately, my game plan is that I am leaving these short positions open. I am going to see what the reaction is going to be down here. Don't forget that on the daily chart, this is a 50% retrace. I always tell you about the 50%. This here is already a 50% retrace to the downside, right? So we could see a bounce here. The question is how far that bounce goes. What I'm going to do, I'm going to monitor a 15-minute market structure shift. If that happens, I am going to de-risk. So I am going to close a portion of my position. It will be up here at $71,000. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to update you in the community. Again, link on top of the description. You want to join in there. But ultimately, I do think that we're going much lower, and I want to see this retrace a little bit so I can add to my short positions. And if that happens, I do think that, you know, unfortunately, sub 60 this could potentially be. Also very important that if you look at this, this is the last level that didn't have a 50% retrace. So if you look here and you start pulling, again, you come back every day, so you know this, but 50% come back here. There is a 50% retrace. Then there is a 50% retrace. Let me just zoom in here so you see it more. So then there is a 50% retrace here. Look at this. Then there's a 50% retrace that happened on this leg, right? And then I come down here, and then there is a 50% retrace happening on this leg. And now we do have a 50% retrace happening on this leg. Not on the full leg, so we can see a little bit higher, but this is the actual level that caused the major crash here, and there is a 50% level to that crash level. So ultimately, I think lower, much lower, and we have to see how it goes. Other thing I wanted to tell you is oil. Now, oil ran away from us. I told you that I am buying oil, adding to my positions at 90, about at 90,000, 90.4. Sorry, 90.4. I missed it by 0.7%. Am I buffled? No. Why? Because we don't know how this will play out. There is a bunch of liquidity built up here. This push was definitely because of the infrastructure that has been bombed by Iran and Israel. So I would not be surprised if this starts coming down on some good news and whatever. And then my thesis still stands that I am going to long after we cop some sub $90 and show a market structure shift, just as I longed here as well. I do have the trade open, up about 114% on this one, $900 unrealized and $700 realized. So these are my positions. These are my thoughts. Bitcoin is going much lower in my opinion. Please pay attention. Join in the community. I also wanted to tell you that it's basically confirmed. I'm not going to announce it just yet, but we have a partner here called 𝗕𝗘𝗙𝗪. I do trade on 𝗕𝗘𝗪 as well. They're a non-KYC available exchange worldwide. You can just sign up. Now signing up and depositing, you will get great bonuses. But also the big thing is that there will be people who trade on using our link in the description on 𝗕𝗘𝗪, and will be able to come with me for a football match or a soccer match, Real Madrid against someone. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Yeah, we're going to go VIP. We're going to go paintball. We're going to go get some nice food in Madrid. It's going to be incredible. So I'm not going to tell you more. Actually, I think I told you. Maybe I have to cut this out. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I'm just going to publish it and we'll see. Guys, take care. See you next one. Ciao, ciao.